both won Golden Boy. They both won FIFA, got into the FIFA Team of the Year. They both won, FIFA Young Player of the Year, etc., etc. They've all dominated the tournaments at the levels that they've been at. But on the pitch, Rooney has more to his game.
Oh,
technically, as a footballer, Rooney surpasses Mbappe. Set pieces, playmaking, creativity. What Mbappe has over him is finishing, goal scoring. But as an all-round, Rooney offers more on the pitch for me than Mbappe.
So this is... I didn't bring up this topic. So as you well know, behind the scenes, we look and we just come up with stuff. That bearded guy over there with the glasses, he decided just to throw something in. For me, I thought it was a typo. So I said to Neeks, "Oh, Neeks, I think you mistakenly put something over there." Then Neeks was like, "No, that's true." I said, "Oh no, Neeks, were you drunk?" He said, "No." "Were you high?" "No." "Were you sniffing glue?" "No." "Were you smoking crack?" "No." "Did you take blue meth?" "No." I'm actually being real. Who was the better teenager, Mbappe or Rooney? And I know what most of you guys are thinking. That's pretty stupid. But hey, let's still just debate this. So I put out the poll here, and I'm actually disgusted at the results of this poll because it should have been a lot wider. So who was the better teenager? The 36% who voted Rooney, you're a bunch of losers who know nothing and you should be ashamed and embarrassed of yourselves. 64% said Mbappe. All I'm going to say is this, because I'm sure Devo is with me on this. You better be with me on this. So
I'm with the facts.
Okay, so my thing is this: is that throw me the stats of what Rooney did. Hey, he's good, the assist, the like who scored.com stats, merchants, stats. I'll just throw this. I believe Mbappe was the youngest player to score in every single knockout round in the Champions League, leading his team as a teenager to a Champions League semi-final where he still scored in that game against Juventus. And you know what my trump card is? World Cup. Mm-hmm. Teenager. Most inspirational player for France. World Cup final. There are only 2 teenagers who've scored in a World Cup final. One is Pele, many people see as the greatest player of all time. The other one is Kylian, Jeremiah, Abiodun, Mbappe. Now, if you have any arguments whatsoever towards Rooney, I truly fear for you. Remember, guys, you know what the call is, okay? Yeah. There are numbers in the description box below. My memory isn't that great. So if you want to call in and support Mbappe, call in. If you want to call in to support Rooney, don't call in, or else I'll just drop you off the call. So, respond.
It's funny, you started off debunking stats.
And then use stats for your argument.
Oh, no, that's not even the funny part. That's not the funny part.
I used real.
I'm glad you debunk stats, because the stats are in Mbappe's favour. That's the funny thing about him. So you should have probably kept it quiet. But you're right to debunk stats. Stats has a place in football. I know you like to dismiss it a lot, but when we're talking about young players, stats, for me, are not even a support. They're a back burner. You put them on the back burner when you're discussing young players. Because young players, I think there's a lot of different elements and aspects you need to discuss. Mbappe got to the Champions League semi-final with Monaco. At the same age, Rooney was playing for Everton. So is it Rooney's fault that Everton weren't good enough to be in a Champions League? Or was Mbappe fortunate to be in a star-studded... Star-studded, multi-million pound worth Monaco squad, where he wasn't the main striker. He was arguably the best performing striker in the Champions League. I think he got about six goals in that season. But I think he got definitely less than 20, maybe even less than 15 in the league that year. They had Falcao. they had João Matinho, they had Mendy, they had Bernardo Silva, they had Fabinho. That was a brilliant Monaco team. So much so that a lot of those players who I've named were sold for big money, 50 million for Mendy. And you all know, you don't got the computer, you can search it yourself. So they don't act like that Monaco team was, say, the Porto that Mourinho won the Champions League with. It wasn't. They played a Man City team who, I mean, we know Man City bottled the Champions League. But Mbappe was electric. And I love Mbappe. I really do. But as I said, we need to take certain things into perspective. Rooney was playing for Everton. So you can't say he won Ligue 1 with Monaco, who, by the way, Ligue 1 at the time, up until the 2017-18 season, was a B-ranked UEFA coefficient team. I.e., if you score a goal in that league, it's only multiplied by 1.5 when they're going towards the golden shoe. Whereas Rooney was playing for a weaker team in comparison to his rivals in a stronger league for Everton. He then got the big move to Manchester United after making that big impact in Euro 2004. He then got injured in the quarterfinals and England fell apart. The nation was relying on Rooney, an 18-year-old Rooney. It's not Rooney's fault that his birthday didn't fall in the World Cup year. 2002 he wasn't playing. 2006 he was already over 19. So he was 20 by then. So the discussion we're talking about as teenagers. And he was also injured going into 2006 World Cup. But the impact that Rooney made in that Euros, for me, other than the fact that England didn't win it, and arguably the France team that won the World Cup was the same France team plus a bit that got to the Euros 2 years earlier. That was one of the favourites to win that World Cup. England, other than the media hype of the golden generation, weren't the best team at Euro 2004. France were better, Portugal were better. Greece ultimately won it. But Rooney was injured. But the impact that Rooney made when he was on that field is comparable to the impact that Mbappe made at the World Cup when he was on the field. But that's a fact. But it's a fact. It's a fact. Hence why Manchester United were willing to pay 30 million for an 18-year-old who then went on to score a hat-trick on his Champions League debut. Now, if we're talking about footballers, like we're not just talking about stats, Rooney wasn't a main striker. Never was up until the 2009-2010 season where he scored 30-odd goals. He was always playing, in the number 10, dropping back. Goals and assists was all part of his game. Mbappe, other than being a wide forward for PSG, he's a striker. He ain't focused on none of the rest of that. He's a striker. So his goal numbers are always going to be better. But they both won Golden Boy. They both won FIFA, going to the FIFA Team of the Year. They both won FIFA Young Player of the Year, etc., etc. They've all dominated the tournaments at the levels that they've been at. But on the pitch, Rooney has more to his game. Technically, as a footballer, Rooney surpasses Mbappe. Set pieces, playmaking, creativity. What Mbappe has over him is finishing, goal scoring. But as an all-round, Rooney offers more on the pitch for me than Mbappe. So it's a very, very close one. I love both of them. Rooney because I'm a Man United fan. And Mbappe, I think he's just electric. He's going to be the best player in the world one day.
See, now my thing, when I initially saw Mbappe versus Rooney, my initial thought was Mbappe. Then I actually thought about it. And I thought, remember Rooney when he was a teenager for England in those Euros? And he was different gravy. He was different class. Until he got that, it was metatarsal, I think it was. He'd done his metatarsal. He was on a par to do something really special in that tournament. Once that happened, England fell apart. Yeah.
In that same match, they fell apart.
Injuries is what held Rooney back in his teenage years. If he hadn't had those, would we be talking about him on the same level as Mbappe? I think possibly we would have.
But he did have those.
He did have those injuries, and Mbappe hasn't really had any injuries to contend with in his career, and he has gone from strength to strength. But as you were saying, Mbappe played for a Monaco side that was immense. It was an immense team.
Was.
He then went on to PSG, where he's playing in Ligue 1, and it's easy for him. It's easy for him. 1 second. It's easy for him Rooney never had that. Rooney came up playing for an Everton side that wasn't great at all. Went to Man United, and Man United, although they did dominate,
they were the third best team at the time.
They had a lot to contend with.
Arsenal were the Invincibles, and Chelsea had just won the first title under Jose.
It was intense. You know, it weren't just you didn't stroll to the Premier League. And Man United made it look easier at some stages.
Yeah, but 3 years later,
it wasn't. When he was a teenager, so it's not. I personally, I'm going to go Mbappe. I am going to go Mbappe, but I think it's a lot closer than what people think.
A lot closer than you're making out. I don't have an issue with anyone saying Mbappe, because that's why I put it forward, because I'm a bit hazy myself. But to be so clear cut to say Mbappe, I don't think you're appreciating what Rooney was as a youngster, let alone Rooney for the rest of his career. Because we already know that you said he's not world class, which is absurd in itself.
My thing about this is this. Wow. So you many different points. Okay, let me just go one by one. So Monaco. There's a thing called improvements. That team were talented. They were not the finished articles. Are you saying Bernardo Silva in 2019 is as good as Bernardo Silva in 2017?
No.
Are you saying Mendy 2019 is as good as...
He's better back then than he is now. Because injured.
Okay, but same thing with Fabinho, with all these other guys. They have
all of them. Martinho and Falcao
was better then. Falcao was better then.
But my thing about this is that Mbappe was the linchpin and the key to that team. The one, what I'll give is, fair enough.
Rooney was the key to that team.
Okay. The Everton side, despite things, were definitely much more inferior to Monaco. But Mbappe's influence on that Monaco side was profound, and it was key. And what he was able to do as an 18-year-old in a Champions League in the knockout stage is something that Rooney never sniffed as a teenager. That's one thing. And another thing, you talk about Rooney's impact in the Euros. So apart from the Croatia game and the Switzerland game, you could talk about injuries and everything. Only those 2 games in the groups was where Rooney really showed up.
No, but he showed up in all the games. He didn't score in all the games, but Michael Owen was the main striker.
So he
showed up in all the games.
So was he injured? So he got injured in the Portugal game?
In the Portugal game, which was the quarterfinal.
Yeah. My thing is, okay, you can say he was injured and everything. At the end of the day, all we can do is the facts that are presented towards us. So the facts of the matter is that for you to say that Rooney's impact in the Euros for England was the same as what Mbappe was doing.
No, he never said it was the same.
I said in the games that he played, Mbappe obviously played 3 more games and he obviously scored in the final. Was Mbappe France's best player?
He was one of France's best players. Don't you dare say Griezmann. Don't you dare say Griezmann.
I said, was he France's best player?
Mbappe.
Yeah. I would say no.
France did not have a singular best player. For me, it's a combination of Mbappe, Varane, Kante, and I'm thinking.
And who's thinking?
Everybody was thinking.
Pogba? What?
See, Pogba was definitely influential, but for me, I think that Kante was... Pogba is my guy, but for me, I think that if I had to pick players, Varane, Kante up until the final.
Pogba.
And the thing, see, Pogba came big in that final.
No, but not just in the final. Remember the Australian game where they couldn't create nothing, and it was Pogba.
He had it, but
Pogba
consistently.
But I'm saying France had so much. That's the point. The fact that you said that there wasn't one, whereas England, and we saw the impact when Rooney wasn't on that pitch, they were nothing. Which shows how
many World Cup goals does Rooney have?
Which show we're talking about
as a teenager.
Forget we're not talking about. The point is, when he wasn't on that pitch for England, the England team didn't know how to function. Mbappe for France had players who were more senior, more you could argue better. I'm not even argue better players like Kante that you mentioned, like Pogba. That
Giroud.
Easy. Okay,
so if he didn't turn up, if he did it in a game, the team wouldn't capitulate. The England team was not good.
So France, you believe that France would still win the World Cup without Mbappe?
No, but France were better without Mbappe than England were without Rooney, which says that the players that Rooney was playing with were inferior to the players that Mbappe was playing with. I'm not saying there's a caveat to his... I'm not saying there's an asterisk to his World Cup or anything like that. I'm not expecting him to be the main guy because he is 18, 19 years old. He did what an 18-year-old did, and then a bit, and then some more. But I'm saying it wasn't like he wasn't a one-man team.
But
he didn't leave France to the World Cup.
My issue is that it's such a small sample size that they actually taken. And that small sample size was the Euros. No, but
the reason why...
But what I want to say is, because you use... He played for Everton. Okay, I'm sorry, he played for Everton. But you use he got injured in the... you use that he played for Everton. Okay, fine, he played for Everton. It's not my issue. You use that, he started the world in the Euros, but then he then got the metatarsal injury. It's not my issue that he got injured. So when we look at the entirety of them as teenagers, Mbappe, if you take up what he did as an individual for Monaco, what he did as an individual for France, it is far greater than what Rooney did as an individual for Everton.
I would disagree. I would disagree.
He has had the injury, so we do have.
But look at what he did for Everton. Is the point I'm making? He may not have got to a Champions League semi-final, but he still was, got to double figures in the Premier League for a poor Everton side. Mbappe wasn't top goal scorer for Monaco. It's not like Mbappe. I said he's electric. His pace, it lights up the place. But he wasn't Monaco's main guy to win in the Ligue 1. He contributed, but when you consider how much goals he scored for Monaco and how much goals Rooney scored for Everton and the teams they played for, it wasn't too dissimilar. Rooney scored.
Rooney was doing it at 16 as well.
Yeah,
even earlier than what Mbappe started.
If you look at Rooney's impact on Everton, it's like the argument you gave to Wolves saying they're the best pound for pound. Assess it pound for pound. How good was Rooney pound for pound at Everton as Mbappe was at Monaco? That's what I think you need to look at more.
See, for me, so the way I view this, I say, when I saw Rooney, I was like, well, this is a really talented teenager that can potentially do something. When I see Mbappe, I'm like, my God, this guy already... Basically, when I look at Mbappe, it's like, this looks like a guy already playing like a 25, 26-year-old. He's not playing like a teenager. For Rooney, I was like, so Rooney always looked like a talented teenager. Mbappe looks like this guy looks like this.
Always. You mean like he never became...
Rooney looked like a man. He was playing, he was playing the game like he was a grown man. At 16, he looked 30.
You drop this one to Pep all the time. What would you do, at Scunthorpe? What would you do?
Scunthorpe, yeah.
Now, what would Mbappe do if he was at Everton in 2002?
More than Rooney for sure.
I think so.
I don't know about that.
Because he's the better player.
I don't know about that.
Because he's the better player.
I don't know about
that. He's the better player.
I don't know.
Okay, look, guys. Have your say in there. So, last 2, 10, 3... Yeah, 2, that's right.
2, 10, he spun. Neeks has spun him. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's confused.
So, what's it called? You guys in the YouTube... What is that call?
Yeah.
Call, man. What do you want?
I think someone's trying to save you.
He's live.
Yeah, talk. What do you want?
Yeah, hello. Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, hello. Yeah, as you said that what's it again? That Mbappe is better than Rooney as a teenager.
Sorry, can you turn down your stream in the background, please?
As a teenager. Did you actually say that fourth? Because I don't think so. Because I'm a Man United fan, and I think that Rooney had lots and lots and lots of talent, and then he did a lot more for the team, and he broke into the England team at age 16 years old. I remember it's years ago now, and Mbappe came in at 17 or so, and Mbappe already had a good team around him at Monaco. Well, they were better than Everton. And Man U, when he stepped in there, they'd just lost Beckham, and then they had Ronaldo. And at one time, it sounds stupid, he was, would you agree or disagree? I think he was better than Ronaldo at that time.
At one point, he was. At the 2004, 5, and arguably 5, 6.
Yes. Up to about when that shit happened, sorry about that, when he winked and stamped and stuff.
Yeah, after the 2006 World Cup, basically, Ronaldo just went clear.
Yeah. And personally, I think in 2004, had he not got injured, they would have won the Euros.
Big shout. It's not as simple as that, but they were one of the contenders. They were one of the contenders.
So I do think so. They should have got past Portugal. The Campbell header disallowed.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. They would listen. If Rooney didn't get into that game, they would have got past Portugal.
Yeah.
Because as you said, they should have got past him even without Rooney on the pitch. The referee robbed them.
So my dear friend, just very quick question. So, in your view, taking them both as teenagers, would you say that as teenagers, Rooney was a better player as a teenager than Mbappe as a teenager?
Well, I would say, like, look, Mbappe discovered 2017, I believe. Rooney came out at 2002, 16.
Yeah.
There were different eras. The French league is not as good as the Premiership. And plus, he scored his first international goal within a few games and stuff like that. And then he moved so Mbappe, I don't know his full stats, but it took him about a year to score his first international, and he got to 10 goals quicker than Mbappe. Like when he first got that first one, it was Macedonia. It was in charge by Ericsson, yes. And he got it within a year. He got up to 10 goals, and Mbappe didn't get it that quick. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's a good.
Remember the hat trick he scored on his Champions League debut
Against Fenerbahce.
Yeah.
So it was like
I won't forget that.
hat trick.
Free kick.
Yeah, it was a free kick.
First European game,
right
and he
foot,
does that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
because look,
it was Fenerbahce, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tore him apart.
No. I mean, because all I'm saying is this: is that look, I mean, I just feel that look, I don't think people are fully appreciating what Mbappe did, because my thing is this: is that throughout Rooney's teams, were people ever viewing him as, man, this is one of the best players in the world?
Yes.
Yes.
Because he won the Golden Ball.
Especially in this
He
country.
won the Golden Ball. He was in the team of. I think he was in the team of the tournament for 2004.
Euros, yeah.
Euros.
So-
and these
Yeah,
are some big men, and he's got into the team of the tournament.
So when he was 17, 18, 19, people were viewing him as one of the best players in
At,
the world.
at 18 years
The
old.
same as
at 18 years old.
Mbappe?
At 18.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
They
Maybe
were in
not.
this country.
Maybe not.
No, maybe not. But
Well,
then I'll argue the quality of players that Rooney was against compared to Mbappe now. What would you say the era of football stronger, then or now?
Oh, no, okay, I'll say that.
So there's that as well. You have to consider. So there's a lot to consider.
We have
Griezmann
to look
got. Didn't Griezmann get top 3 in one of the
In
the Ballon d'Or World Player of the Years?
No, but we have to look
Griezmann.
at perception.
Yeah. Griezmann.
But we have to look at
Griezmann would
perception.
never sniff top 3 back then.
My thing is perception. How Mbappe is perceived now as a teenager. People talk, man, this top 3 in the world, top 4 in the world. In an era of Messi, Cristiano still doing their thing. People say Mbappe, yeah, he's like that. Never at any point, and don't use revisionist history, never at any point was Rooney, as a teenager, viewed as a top 3, top 4, top 5 in the world. Don't lie.
But
that is a straight...
But I think in terms of Mbappe being lauded as the top 3 in the world right now, I think there is quite a big fall off after Ronaldo and Messi.
There is.
There's a massive fall off.
No,
There is. Apart from Neymar, who people don't like because of personal issues. Apart from Neymar, do you know what I mean? There's not many people that can even sniff that Messi and Ronaldo.
Hazard would not be
down.
Hazard would not.
Hazard's better than
Hazard
Cristiano.
wouldn't be top 10
Back then.
He wouldn't be.
No, he wouldn't.
No. Hazard now, he would be.
No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
No. Hazard wouldn't be. Zad would be. Zad would be.
He wouldn't.
No. Zad is better than Cristiano.
I don't understand what you're saying.
It's a different era.
I thought Hazard and Zard were the same
Yeah, of
people.
course they are.
No.
I think he has 2 points.
Zad
This
was
is my
born.
final four.
No. Zad was born at the World Cup. Hazard existed before the World Cup. Zad was born during the World Cup, so he's now Zad now. When he's crap, he's Hazard. Caller, thank you very much
Yeah, thank you.
for calling in. So basically, guys, send in. So last 5 minutes, send in your
Any
questions
on
or anything
YouTube?
like that. So send in your questions on YouTube before you go. After my 2 victories, my Kaka win, and I'm back, man. I'm back, baby. Your boy H is back with his 2 victories. Okay, you can end the capture.
Someone said Rooney played against Terry and Mbappe played against Manolas. I know, being a Barca fan, obviously, Manolas sends shivers down your spine, doesn't it?
Wait. No. What for that person that said anything? What did Rooney do in a World Cup? What did Rooney do? If you can't score in a World Cup final, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
But we have to get there. It's not like Rooney was playing for England. England were never going to reach a World Cup final.
And,
What did he do in the
but by the time he played in the World Cup, he was past the age that we're talking about.
What did Rooney do in the Champions League? What did Rooney do in the Champions League? What did he do in the Champions League?
Rooney won the Champions League.
He scored the Champions League final.
He won the Champions League.
He won the Champions League. He scored the Champions League final. He won the Champions League. He scored the Champions League final.
Just to say, apparently someone on Cherry's channel, I think he's...
the unofficial pundit guy.
Apparently he's called you out and said that you're just a troll.
No.
But to be fair, sorry.
Terry gave
Come
me
on, this brother said that, what? He said drink water is better than Gerrard. Ian Wright is worse than Shinji Okazaki. He's like, bruv, you've got no credibility.
None.
Nothing.
Unless it's a case of it takes a troll to know a troll.
That's
I don't know.
But he's going too far.
I'm not sure.
I mean?
Everything I've said is true. As we've all agreed, Kaka was overrated. As we've all agreed. As we've all agreed, Mbappe was a better teenager than Rooney. So look, last few minutes.
I actually did say Mbappe was a better teenager.
You did.
So,
The thing is, I'm not against the idea of Mbappe, but I know it's closer than you think it is.
it's not.
It's
close.
not
It's
close.
It's not.
But you don't rate Rooney at all.
So Theo Walker has more Champions League goals than R9.
Yeah, but Phil Walcott played in the Champions League for what? For a decade.
I don't know.
Basically.
But no. But the guy that said that, does anybody care who Theo Walcott is? Is Theo Walcott going to be remembered years from now? No, it's not.
Yes, he is.
R9 will.
But
R9
Arsenal
will.
fans will remember forever.
There you go.
Quick question from me. How many goals has Hazard got in the World Cup final? No, we've got a question from Los...
Colchoneros.
That's the one. Who wins La Liga?
Atletico Madrid.
Depends on Messi. If Messi's hungry, Barcelona win it. If Messi's not hungry, Atletico win it. It's between Atletico and Barcelona.
When is Messi going to be fit?
Not Gareth Bale.
No.
No?
If Zad leads Real Madrid to a La Liga, guys, top two. If Zad leads Real Madrid to a CL with Benzema, top two.
If Ronaldo,
easily top two.
If Ronaldo
Easily
wins.
top two.
If Ronaldo wins the Euros and the Champions League of Juve,
You're done. As a matter of fact, if that happens, if that happens,
He needs a World Cup.
we need to move
He needs a World Cup.
Dugout onto a different channel.
Do you know how happy
Our
it's
football
finished.
is finished.
Do you know how sweet it was?
Tired.
Do you know how sweet it was? Because I got scared that I thought that Portugal were going to beat Europa. Do you know how happy I was when Cavani laid the smackdown? World Cup.
2018.
18.
Yes.
When Cavani laid the smackdown, I thought.
Wait, why?
As long as Cristiano doesn't touch that World Cup.
Why don't you want it? Why don't you want it to win it?
Because my channel will be finished.
You're a hater.
No, I'm not a hater.
You must be, because why would you not want him to win it?
I don't think he's a hater. He's a disliker.
But you don't know him. He ain't done you nothing.
No.
Why don't you want him to win it?
No, because he's overrated. People rate him too highly.
But if he wins
If he wins the World Cup, people start getting at
Were
me.
you waiting a long time ago when he was younger and you had more hair? Were you waiting?
I still have
Were
it.
you
When I had
sorry,
more hair.
yes, sorry.
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 Come on, man, what the hell?
Yeah, it just looks like there's a little bald patch on the top.
Hey, when you get exposed, you say how many goals in a Champions League or World Cup?
No, I don't.
Go to. But I think what it was is when he was younger, he was waiting to get Ronaldo's autograph. And Ronaldo walked past him. That's why he hates him.
Must be.
It's like a stand complex.
I don't hate Cristiano, just that. As long as I just don't want him to win the World Cup. It's very simple. I don't want him to win the World Cup. That's like my last bastion. So as long as Messi and Cristiano don't win the World Cup, you guys look like fools viewing them as your goats. Because these so-called goats have not scored a single goal in a World Cup knockout stage game and do not have a World Cup. But you call them the greatest of all time. How dare you? How dare you? You want to put them at the same category as your boy Ronaldo? As your boy Zizou? It's ridiculous. So, as long as those goats don't touch my World Cup, as long as they don't touch my World Cup, I'm good. And I will keep on tweeting out how these guys don't have the most important trophy, which is the WC.
What about JJ Okocha?
He's the most naturally gifted football player of all time. What I admit is that he's just not effective. I'll still admit it. He's ineffective.
Is he even the most naturally gifted Nigerian of all time? Did you not see that goal that Kanu scored against Chelsea?
Carney was my guy.
No, and I met Kanu also, but also no, Kanu was.
Oh, that's why you like Kanu. You met him, but
No,
Ronaldo walked past you.
no. I met Kanu, but but you know. Oh gosh, is this a caller?
Yes.
You sound so disappointed to get a call.
No, because
He's calling. Right.
Yeah.
Let's just see what it is, isn't it?
what do you want?
Yo, it's me again, Andy, man.
Yeah, what do you want?
Listen, I want to discuss this GOAT discussion you're having.
Sorry, let me just stop you for a second. De Bruyne is on a goal and 3 assists in this game. Anyway, carry on. Yeah.
Against Andy Robertson.
Which is
You're putting down Cristiano and Messi just because they didn't want to World Cup. What has Ronaldo, R9, done in the UCL? In his career, that Messi done.
Okay, can I respond? Can I respond?
Yeah, respond.
First off, the World Cup is more valuable than the Champions League. That's the first point.
Okay.
Second, wait, can I finish? Can I finish? Thank you. You spoke. Can I finish? First off, the World Cup is more valuable than the Champions League. That's the first point.
Okay.
Second point, Ronaldo already made his statement in the Champions League by scoring the most famous hat-trick in Champions League history, which was his hat-trick against United, where he was given a standing ovation. Third point as well. Can I land? What the hell? Let me land. Let me land. You've spoken. Let me land. Third point was when he played for Real Madrid and so forth, when he was in the Champions League, was after a career-ending knee injury. If Ronaldo didn't have that knee injury, he would be a Champions League winner and a World Cup winner, and you guys wouldn't have anything to say against him.
All I got to say is, Ronaldo won 2 World Cups, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was in the squad for 94, but he didn't play. But go on, yeah.
Really only won.
Okay, Cristiano won 5 CLs. What is 5 CLs on World Cup?
No.
What do you mean?
No. If you're so good, if you're so great, win the greatest trophy.
And again,
if you can't win the greatest trophy, get the hell out of here. Don't even get in the conversation.
I agree. I agree. 1 second. I agree with Have Hope generally in this. I think part of it is very extreme, but the World Cup is another level. World Cup comes around every 4 years. You have to lift your game for those 4 years. You're representing your country, not a club where if you don't win this year, you can win next year. If you don't win that year, you can win again.
Next year?
Them men are playing for 20 years. You win 5. It's one every 4 years. My maths is good. I was on the top set. But World Cup is every 4 years. You get 2, maybe 3 if you're good enough shots at the World Cup. If you win 1, that's 1 in 3. That's a better ratio than 1 in 4 over 20-year career. So is 5 Champions League? I don't think anything's worth a World Cup.
What would you
I think as well, the other thing on that
But Cristiano and Messi are some of the greatest players of all time.
But the other thing as well with the Champions League is you're generally, if you're going to win the Champions League, you're surrounded by players who are at the top level, whereas you just play with the players that you're born with.
Yeah.
When it comes to international football, you're not necessarily blessed with, we'll just have the best left back, best right back. It's like if you have no left backs in your country, then you're playing with a shit left back.
And one could argue that obviously Ronaldo is one of those, but he is fortunate that the team around him were the best left back, the best right back. But he was one of the best striker in the world at the time. So, you know, he deserves a World Cup because he was the best, but he also had to go out and earn it, and he did it. So, I don't dismiss Messi and Ronaldo at all. But for me, international trophy, international football is the pinnacle of the game. So, if you don't win it
but career-wise, they're way better.
They've had more successful careers because mainly, I would say, because of
Longevity.
injuries. Yeah, and the longevity that they've had.
Which is crazy. To be at the top of your game for 15 years is crazy.
But at their peak, R9 is the best I've seen. At the peak.
Yeah. And undoubtedly.
And I would even argue that Ronaldo's peak wasn't even his peak, minus injuries. Because his peak was when he was so young. He has so much more to give. But it's a debate that will go on forever, isn't it?
Okay, Messi to go anyway. Messi to go. And Robert's trash. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. Get off the line, man.
Thanks for that.
Tell me how Robert's done.
Get off the line. If you already spoken, get off the line. Wait, Jevin, cut this down.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you, man.